and thus begins the unfilmed descent. There's some of that leaf-covered waterfall thing I was telling you about, so I'll be using both poles, and here we go. Putt-Putt would really want to see this. We climb over 20-inch tall logs right and left, and somebody brings out a chainsaw and cuts 2 inches off the top of a 6-inch tall log. You have got to be kidding me. Putt-Putt, this one's for you. Been hiking along there, decently level, maintaining good pace, not even winded. To see this little doodad right here pointing to the right, and apparently we've just given up on anything sort of smooth terrain or switchbacks. That is going straight down in the ravine there, so we'll give it a go. 2 deer just ran ahead of me. They went over the edge into the ravine, so hey, if they can do it, I'll give it a try. You see the trail through the middle there, some rock steps to where I am. Use these trees for horizontal, wherever that would be, somewhere in there. And that's the trail continuing up. So yeah, it's interesting. It's keeping it interesting. So I've just gotten to the bottom of the saddle, first side of the saddle, coming from the Ohio River shelter. This is just really cool. If you were looking for a stealth place to camp this side of the Ohio River shelter, here is a stream that, for the time being, could be filtered from. However, not a lot down there, a little. And there is this beautiful flat area here, back up in that ravine. Perfect place to tent or hammock camp if you wanted to do something stealth. So anyways, just thought I'd point that out to you. See that waterfall trickling down there? I'll be quiet and see if you can hear it. It would be beautiful to see. Here we go. All right, folks, the little flat spot with the creek flowing next to it that I told you about as a campsite flows down to here. And yes, this is down. This is the direction water should be heading. I don't know if you can see up and over that log there. There is a second creek coming together. And as you can see, if you want water here, you're gonna have to dig a well. There is just, it's crazy how the water just disappears. They talk about all the cracks in these rocks like you see here. They talk about the water just goes down into cavernous underground areas. So as you can see, the rocks are very cracked and open. And so anyways, so yeah, difficult to find water. I will show you. I just came down from there. You see the marker? Some switchbacks and stuff going up over that ledge, and then that took me back down to that area I showed you earlier. So you can see it's a creek crossing and the other side of the saddle. So yeah, that just goes right up that hill. I'm looking straight out there. So in the next 50 feet, the trail totally goes out of the picture. So yeah, it'll be a little bit interesting. I think I'll turn the camera off. You've heard me huff and puff enough today, but just so you know, this is what you'll encounter. Well, here we are. Cleared the second saddle, which in the orientation that I did them, the second was the worst. However, if you did in the other direction, that just means you'd have a lot steeper descent I'm going down the back side here, and honestly, this is one of the most beautiful sections of trail I've hiked yet. So to come up this, I think would be pretty easy. I haven't seen it all yet. This is kind of like hiking through Pennsylvania, so I'm told. Anyways, by the way, my shoes are just doing amazing. I can't even tell you. I step right on these sharp edges and stuff, and it's nothing to it. It's just, I really, really am happy with them. So anyways, yeah, so coming up this, I think would be much easier than the route I went. I can't really say about going up the northwest part of it. When I was coming down it, there were some pretty treacherous spots. So going up it, of course, would be reciprocated. But anyways, might be easier to go through it northwest, considering what I'm going down right now would be one of the two climbs. So just some food for thought as you plan your route. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep enjoying this beautiful, beautiful trail. I love this. I'd come back and hike this again in a heartbeat. I have been absolutely enjoying myself. Just so everybody knows, if you're even into this at all, I would definitely give this park some thought. Hey everybody, it is about 10 after 11. Friday morning. Just left the Cold Friday Road crossing, which is where I had stashed some water. And while at the Ohio River Shelter, Putt-Putt and I made plans. He was gonna check in with me there at that road crossing to make sure that saddle went okay and everything. And so anyways, he was down there and filled up my water jugs, and he took my trash and a few other things like that. So kind of some trail magic, to be honest. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Anyways, he told me about his camping experience last night, and I shared mine. So anyways, on the trail again. Like I said, about 10 after 11, I'm going to try to get to the homestead shelter for lunch. I understand there's a short little trail out onto a rocky overlook over the Ohio River. Might be kind of a cool place to stop and check out a little bit. Sorry for coughing in your ear there. So yeah, this is a decent little climb out of the gap there where the road runs. But anyways, I'm enjoying it. I like when we go into these, I don't know, I'm not really into forestry and whatnot, but I think these are cedar groves like this. A little bit of shade. It's just neat. A little bit of change. Needles on the trail and stuff. So anyways, yeah, kind of huffing and puffing. Picked up 3 liters of water again. About 5 miles on the trail. Plus I will be fixing supper tonight and breakfast in the morning. Off of that, of course, lunch will be a cold lunch, dry. No water needed there for preparation. But anyways, yeah, as we've discussed, really no water to filter out here. So I'm carrying it all. While at the road crossing with Putt-Putt, we set up a game plan. He is hiking in from the next parking area back toward me to meet at the Indian Creek shelter, which is like a 3-sided shelter, something just to keep you from having to set up your tent. It is supposed to start snowing tonight. One of the park staff told Putt it would be about 4 inches possibly, so we might get an early start out of the shelter in the morning, try to stay ahead of some of it, and depending on how clearly marked the trail is, may even take a shortcut and do a little road walk. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, excited about having company at the shelter tonight. I know one of the things that Putt was really looking forward to on this trip was to experience shelter camping. So anyways, so yeah, I'm happy that's going to work out. Geez, oh Pete, the hill just keeps going. Wow, beautiful though, beautiful. So anyways, yeah, looking forward to that. When I get to the homestead shelter, I'll check in with you, unless I see something really cool before then. But should hopefully be there within an hour, so I'll check in with you then. I've just come across this wonderful little babbling brook, and best I can tell, I'm gonna try to cross it here without falling in. Best I can tell, we are very close to the homestead shelter. So if you in fact want to filter water, this may in fact work if you're camping there. So something to consider. Can't guarantee it, but there is a little bit of water. Also, I have the camera going. Look at all these beautiful little yellow flowers. They have just popped up here, and yeah, I have no idea what they are. Daylilies or daffodils, or I'm not a horticulturalist. Can't even say the word. So if somebody knows, leave a comment. They are very pretty though. I'll get a little closer here. Very pretty. Also, foundation of some sort of structure here. Don't really think this is the old homestead shelter, as it's supposed to have a fireplace, unless that was recently dismantled. But yeah, kind of neat. Hiking through some foundation of sorts. It's not too terrible old. Those concrete steps are formed up nicely. Anyways, they could have been retrofitted on something much older. But so yeah, here we go. All right, just came out of the woods there to this beautiful, this is calling it the chimney shelter, but I think on the map it's the old homestead shelter, where you have this big old stone chimney and almost a fully enclosed shelter. However, it does not appear to have a door. The roof also appears to be kind of bad shape. So back to that beautiful thing. Maybe not quite. However, there is plenty of space here to set up a tent, picnic tables, campfire, whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. Not sure I would want to attempt a fire in there. However, you can see people have. I don't know what the benefit of that would be. Based on the amount of winged insect nests I see up through there, I sure wouldn't want to anger them too much. So anyways, to the shelter here. We'll call it stable. Apparently it's used for firewood storage and graffiti. So, yeah, there is a trash can here, several more outside, a wire where somebody is drying their darn tufts. I'm not sure I would ever put those back on. But anyways, so yeah, just wanted to show you this. I'm gonna eat me some lunch here. There is this trail here that is known for taking you right out to the Ohio River on a nice little cliff overlook, which you can see the water right through those trees there. They say it's about a quarter mile down there and back, so, or down there and then quarter mile back, I guess. So yeah, after I eat me a bite, see how I'm feeling, I might just do that. It's hard to pass up a view like that. It really is. And I'm out here for the views and to have fun. So that sounds like a good time to me. Go stand right on the edge of the river. So I'll take you along with me here. But first things first, let's get some more. All right, this is coming down that side trail I told you I was going to take after lunch. I'd say it is about a quarter mile down here. I left my pack at the cabin up there at the shelter. Of course, that's a risk, but didn't really want to carry my pack an extra half mile by the time I get down here and back. As you can see, the path is as well worn as the adventure hiking trail. So it's easy to follow. I did not expect to see this. This is kind of a nice little campground area down here. I don't know if they would consider this stealth camping, because this really isn't even a marked trail down to here. Clearly, little fire ring there. People have set up some logs for benches. You wouldn't even need to bring a chair. But yeah, shelter is somewhere up there. Can't really see. But this is what we came down here for. It's all about the views. So I'm gonna step right down here. Hopefully not slip off, but there's a little bit of muddy wash out here on these rocks. But yeah, oh yeah, yeah, daddy likey. That is just a sheer rock face, as you can see there. We're standing at the top of this puppy, and it is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Here, over here, you can see the backside of that mine I saw from the Ohio River shelter. So anyways, yeah, it's pretty neat. Of course, I don't know how well you can see it there, debris everywhere in the water. And over there on the far bank, I don't know if you can tell, water is up. It is up, but that doesn't affect how much water is available in the park, clearly. So anyways, I'll quit rambling. Just wanted to bring you along, show this to you. So we'll holler at you later. Okay, everybody, so I'm still here at the homestead overnight shelter. I walked down to the riverbank there, took some pictures and videos for you. I've come back up. So I've got 2.5 miles, you can see here, over to this primitive site. So I am going there. Putt-Putt's original plan was to come down and park at this parking spot right here and take a horse trail down that would intersect somewhere in here and come down to the Indian Creek shelter tonight, and we would stay there, and based on how much snow we get tonight, he would go back out to the truck. I may do the same, and I may also go up and finish back to that parking where we started the trail. However, when he got here to this parking area, thankfully I was still here where I have cell service, he called me because the horse trail that runs down over to here, there's a gate across it and it says indefinitely out of service. So he really didn't feel comfortable with coming down a trail that was out of service, and I don't blame him. So he was looking. There is a horse trail that comes from this parking right here on Cold Friday Road over to this primitive site. So if he comes into the primitive site, we could walk or hike this 1.1 together to this shelter tonight, and then in the morning we'll just backtrack out. And unfortunately we won't get this about 4.9 miles together here of the loop, but there's always going to be another day, and probably safer than going on through 4 inches of wet snow. They're saying it's supposed to be pretty wet, heavy snow. It's not that it wouldn't be doable, and it's not that I don't want to try it, but that voice of experience and reason that Putt-Putt had that pulled him off the trail yesterday afternoon may pull me off the trail tomorrow morning. So anyways, so I am headed to this primitive site. As you can see, 2.5 miles. I to wait here till about 4:15, 4:30, and if I don't meet up with him at that time, I'm hiking all the way out tonight to this road. If it hasn't started snowing when I get to here, I may actually finish it. It's going to be in the dark. I may finish over to there. So either way, I'm gonna go to here. I'm going to go to the Indian Creek shelter maximum if we do Putt-Putt's plan. If he's unable to make it this far, I'm going probably all the way tonight. So anyway, so do a little night hiking maybe, or hiking back out in the snow, either way. So it's going to be a fun ending to the trail. So anyways, I'll keep you up to date. After 4:15, 4:30, I'll know what we're doing, so we'll check in then. From the homestead shelter, headed to the primitive shelter. Absolutely beautiful trail. I would equate it to coming off of the last saddle as far as elevation change, maybe slightly milder. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can reference a previous video about that. But I paralleled a creek for a while. This might be the same one. Now I'm actually crossing it. It is just so cool to see these big old cavernous rocks and through a completely dry bed. It's almost like a road for some sort of big rock crawler ATV type vehicle. It is just really, really cool. So anyways, I thought I'd show that to you. Trail climbs up out of the bank right here, and we'll keep moving. Nice level trail. Really been enjoying it. Not bad at all. A few ups or downs here and there. And I noticed that we just keep getting narrower and narrower on this holler. And I'm looking up ahead, and I kind of see the holler coming to an end. I thought, well, something's going to give. The trail gave. It goes right up and over the ridge. So this will be a fun little one. Just wanted to bring you up to date. Didn't want you to think the whole trail was smooth like I told you. So here's the reality. I'm gonna make this quick, y'all. So I gotta get to that primitive site to meet Putt-Putt. But this is just cool. Rock wall along here, waterfall right here. That is the trail on that berm right there. I think that is just pretty cool. Hear that?
What do you want me to start?
Well, everybody, as you can see, it was mission accomplished. We made it to the primitive shelter. A bench to set on and a metal roof. You could lay down there if you want. It might be a little soggy. Couple logs to sit on, fire pit. So trail comes out of the woods right over there, and that section back there, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a hurry to make sure I got here in time to meet up with Putt, and that was him just taking off there. But anyways, got here successfully, but I didn't take much footage. So just so you know, couple really cool areas where you go through like more of those cedar groves, and those areas are pretty level, pretty easy going. Several areas where they've done some like forestry in the past, and it's kind of like prairie, almost grass-like areas. Pretty neat. Crossed several horse trails and forestry roads through there. Overall though, that is a tough section, especially if you started by crossing the saddle this morning like I did. So we're taking off here, going around behind the shelter. 1.1 gets us to the Indian Creek shelter, which is where we're going to call it a night. So we hopefully will get there pretty early, can dry some gear. My shirt is just soaked in sweat, so are my socks. But I'll talk about all that when we get there, hopefully with plenty of time to get it all dried out and get comfy. So we'll talk to you a little later on. All right, everybody, we made it to Indian Creek shelter. Kind of a cool tree right over here. Everybody signed their names or initials or whatever. It's pretty cool. Anyways, just came up the way there. Looks like this trail is on remnants of a horse trail, maybe. Really wide, level. It goes on that way, but from the other end up there, we've already tried to get to it from there. It says closed indefinitely. So anyways, the adventure hiking trail continues over here, over the edge. So you'll see the rest of the shelter here. Several picnic tables, a couple fire rings. I'll show you in the shelter. That's it. Big enough for a handful of people if you just cram them in there. Make a place to hang your pack out here under the porch, I guess, if it gets too full. But anyways, yeah, neat little place here. Come right out to the edge. The cabin is definitely right here on the bluff. I think I may walk down to that rock and see if I can get you a little better view of the creek. But I'm going to use both hands to do that. So there's Putt. We made it up here. So alright, let me go down to this rock. Alright, I am right out on the rock. Came down off the ridge right there. Not much of a path down here, but anyways, I'll pan you back around. You can see water there, and boy, it is steep down there. I mean, it is just, I don't know if you can tell, it is just right down there. But unlike all the other waterways in the park, there is actually water in the Indian Creek. Not much, but a little. So anyways, thought I'd just come out here on the rock and show you. And start back up the hill here toward the cabin. I'm ready to kick my boots off and settle in a little bit. Get some gear hanging. drying out things, and go from there. So I'll holler at you after we get settled in.
Are you talking about a video?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think about that. I can give Chris one.
Yep. So got a little fire going. Got stuff for supper out on the table. Few articles of clothing got soaked in sweat, actually, believe it or not. Show you inside here. Got my pack sitting here on the left. Ground cover from my tent, air mattress and pillow. Putt-Putt's got his ground cover, his pack, air mattress, and he's actually got his mattress covered with a like a Mexican blanket, Indian blanket there. Give him a little more R value. Over here, I've actually haven't moved my sleeping bag in yet. Got it out, so I've discovered over the last couple nights that I'm a night sweater, apparently. Stayed in a shelter last night, and so, you know, not having the condensation problems in a tent like you would normally have. And this was just a little bit damp when I rolled it up this morning, so went ahead and unfolded the whole thing. Of course, drying my shoes and socks. And kind of got some thoughts on the socks, and we'll get to that later. I'll kind of do a gear review comparing those to the Smart Wool, the Darn Toughs to the Smart Wool. So anyways, just thought I'd show you around, show you everything we got set up here, and we'll check back in with you maybe when we're eating. All right, folks, I've just been eating. I've been eating all kinds of stuff. I ate some M&Ms. I ate a can of Vienna sausages. Now I've got a package of chili ramen with Thai chili tuna in it, and it is delightful. If you're into that sort of thing, it's good and spicy. I really enjoy it. So anyways, just sitting here enjoying this view, and it's just a beautiful evening. Kind of waiting to see what the weather is going to do. We heard, you know, a kind of a hearsay, 4 inches of wet snow, but radar showing maybe kind of like a wintry mix starting at 11, and that's like a 40% chance of that till I think 10 in the morning. So when we wake up, I guess we will see what it is doing out here, and may don some rain gear and just take off. May wait till 10. May get out our snowshoes, who knows, but I guess we'll see in the morning. So I'll check back in with you after a bit.